everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to be showing you guys all of the mods that I'm going to be using in my game to do Morbid's Ultimate Decades Challenge. Now, for this challenge, you have to basically, obviously, you start in the 1300s, so we're going to be starting in like medieval times, and in order for you to take a modern game like The Sims 4 and turn it into a medieval game, it's going to take a little bit of working around and finding different mods and CC to help you with that. So in today's video, I thought that I would sit down and show you guys majority of my mods and CC that I have in my game. So to get started, I'm going to start out with like very well-known mods that I have in my game, but I feel like you should have them in your game at all times, no matter what challenge you're playing, whether it's like, the Decades Challenge or if you're just playing regular gameplay. I feel like these mods always have to be in my game, personally. So I'm going to run through these pretty quickly just because they are so well known. But obviously, the first one that I'm going to recommend is MC Command Center. It is so helpful. There are so many things that you can do with MC Command Center. The one thing that I plan on using MC Command Center for in the Decades Challenge is to change like the pregnancy percentages for the different lifespans. And yeah, MC Command Center. But I mean, there's so many things that you can do with MC Command Center. It's wild. Like, I've had this in my game since it pretty much came out, I'm guessing, and I've one never played without it since then, and two, there's still so many things that I just have not even touched, have no idea about, but the possibilities are pretty much endless with this mod. So I highly recommend checking this mod out. The next mod that I'm going to recommend is UI Cheats, and obviously you probably know about this one as well. But what this mod does is it basically adds cheats literally to your fingertips. So you can you can like right click on the money and add or take away. You can add or take away relationships. You can um, take away like different whims that your Sims might get, or just so many things with UI cheats. You definitely need it in your game, especially with playing a Decades Challenge like this. I feel like if I need to, you need to be kind of immersed in the gameplay, and if your Sim is feeling a certain type of way, or something happens to give your Sim a moodlet that might not match with the medieval times, it's so easy to just right click on the moodlet, get rid of it, out of sight, out of mind. Definitely recommend UI cheats. So this mod obviously is the Relationship and Pregnancy Overhaul by Lumpino. Um, but I personally am going to have this in my game just because it adds so much to do with, it adds so much drama in your relationships, and just I like having that in my game. So, yeah, definitely gonna have this in my game. The next mod is the Realistic Childbirth mod by Pandasama, and I want to have this in my game mainly for the home birth option, because you can click on the bassinet in your home without a midwife or anything being there, and just have the baby yourself, and it's very realistic looking. But not only that, I plan on taking one of the midwives that come with this mod and kind of giving them a makeover to look more medieval-ish. So definitely going to be having this in my game because I just feel like it was pretty common back then to have home births, like with a midwife or something like that. So, yeah. And lastly, the last well-known mod that I'm going to be having in my game for this Decades Challenge is Wonderful Whims. I'm actually going to be using Wicked Whims for this, but I have the streamer mode on. I prefer Wicked Whims over Wonderful Whims just because Wicked Whims comes with a post player, and so it makes it very easy to take like screenshots or photos of your Sims in game. Um, but yeah, I really enjoy all of these mods. But I'm gonna suggest two save files to you guys to try out. So first of all is the Seriously's blank save. This is going to get rid of everything in the game for all expansion packs, game packs, all that stuff. So you're just gonna be left with nothing. But this gives you the opportunity to add Sims of your own, build up the worlds as you see fit, and yes, so I recommend this one. But if that's not your cup of tea, then there is also a medieval save by Divin the Simmer. I hope I'm saying that right. Um, but I have actually messed around with this save a little bit, and it is stunning. Okay, it is absolutely stunning. The world is beautiful. Like, I think these screenshots speak for themselves, but it's basically broken down into different kingdoms. So, like, this is Egypt, um, and then Newcrest is going to be changed to Wood Grove, and it's kind of giving me like fantasy, mythical, like cottagecore vibes. Um, so yeah, it's a world overhaul to turn the world medieval, basically. So if you're not interested in starting fresh, then I highly recommend downloading this save file, um, because, like I said, it is absolutely stunning. This creator did such a good job on this save file. All of the Sims are so well made and quite fine, if I must say so myself. Um, and yeah, there's just so many kingdoms, there's so much to do, and look at and explore. And I just think that this is a super cool save file for doing a decades challenge, more specifically, you know, living in medieval times in The Sims 4. So, last but not least on this section, I'm going to talk about this mod right here. This is the Medieval Windenburg mod, and what this does is it's going to change the map replacements for Windenburg to something more like, obviously, medieval. But it's also going to overhaul all of the roads, all of the terrain. It's going to get rid of anything modern in Windenburg, and it's really just going to take Windenburg back to the 1300s essentially. So I highly recommend this mod. I again have played with this in my game some. The roads are really nice. The terrain looks really pretty. And yeah, highly recommend. All right, guys. So before I get into the rest of the mods to medievalize your game, I also want to bring up this mod, which is a world decluttering mod. So this is going to take out all of the random decorations in your Sims 4 game, that you might not want in there if you are trying to play a medieval save file. So this is called the Timeless mod, and yeah, I highly recommend getting this one. So the um, download link is kind of hidden. So the download link is right here. If you scroll down a little, it's going to say if that's all you need to know, you can go ahead and download from SimFileShare. So you're going to click on this and it will bring you to the download, and this just goes in your mods folder. So now I'm going to get into the mods specifically for medieval gameplay. So first up, I have the medieval interface for The Sims 4. So basically what this does is it's going to change the interface in your game to look more medieval. It turns it into this like brown and tan color scheme. I really like it. I played with it in my game, and yeah, it works very well. The only thing with this is if you are going to download this mod and you use Better Build Buy, there will be a patch package in the download when you download this for that. So you need to make sure if you use Better Build Buy to put that into your mods folder along with this interface mod, just so that way, you don't get anything wonky in your game. So next up is the royalty mod, and obviously this goes hand in hand with medieval times, but it's going to add you're going to have get famous in order to use this mod, but um, it's going to add like royalty and all that good stuff. It even adds a peasant home in the traits or challenges. So someone will come by to collect taxes at the end of every week. And I just really enjoy this mod. If you're going to be playing a medieval like game, I highly recommend having the royalty mod installed. And you can read up about it a little bit more because there is a ton that goes into this mod, but highly recommend getting this mod. Next up, we have the honey production mod by Pied Piper. And what this is going to do is you're going to be able to produce honey and sell it and all that good stuff. This also comes with a mead brewer, so you can like get the honey and turn it into uh, mead, I guess. So definitely recommend the honey production mod. Next up is the blacksmithing skill. So what this is going to do is obviously add in the blacksmithing skill for your Sims. Very realistic to medieval times, I feel like. And it adds another skill for your Sims to work on, another thing for them to possibly make money on, and I really enjoy this mod. Next up is the functional loom. So again, going back into kind of, olden times, you can put this in your lot. You can create different tapestries and all that good stuff with this. And yeah, I think you might be able to sell this to the trader. I'm not 100% sure, but if you can't, then you can still sell it through their inventory and make money that way. Or even open up a business and like sell goodies to the townsfolk. So next up, we have the archery skill. So going back to like the blacksmithing skill, this is going to add another skill for your Sims to be able to build. And it comes with a variety of different objects to play around with, and I just highly recommend this one. You can shoot bow and arrows, and it's just a very fun mod, in my opinion, to add a little bit of spice to your medieval gameplay. So next up, I feel like these are super important. This is going to add medieval interactions into your game. So as you can see here, there's a few share secret tips you learned from the baker. Did you hear who the new pope is? Discuss what's new around the kingdom, yada, 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 so on and so forth. But it's just going to give your Sims something to talk about that's kind of like time appropriate for them. And then next up, we have medieval activities. So what this is going to do is it's going to allow your Sims to go do different activities that are from medieval times, right? So they can go see an execution, they can participate in an archery contest, enlist in the crusade, go hunting. Um, so yeah, highly. And I almost forgot to mention, but this is super important. So this is the Ye Old Cookbook Kit from Little Boy Bub. And so what this is going to do is it's going to add custom ingredients for you to go like hunt for or gather for. And it's also going to add different recipes that are time appropriate for medieval times. So it also comes with this little sign here, which you can click on and like go foraging, go hunting, or there's also different events that you can go to, have your Sims go do. So definitely a must-have for any medieval gameplay. So the last things that I'm going to be talking about is overrides for your Sims 4 game. Now, I just want to say that my game is not perfect by any means. There's still probably a ton of stuff that I need to get to fully medievalize my game, and I don't even know if, there's certain things that are available for that. But anyway, I have a ton of different overrides in my Sims 4 game to kind of medievalize the game a bit more. So, like, for instance, the fire lighter is no longer going to be a lighter. It's going to be a stick, which makes so much more sense because they didn't have lighters like we have today back then. The next override is the bug spray override, and it's going to change it to this. And yeah. Next up, we have medieval silverware replacement. This is going to change all of the silverware and everything like that in the game to look more dated. Next, we have a coffee maker and default replacement mug for The Sims 4. So this is what the coffee maker looks like, and then this is obviously what the mug looks like. It just, again, medievalizes it a bit. Next up, we have the rusticized kitchen items. So this is going to replace all of the kitchenware that your Sims are going to use when they're creating a meal to stuff that looks a bit more medieval. And there's also a part 2, so you can get part 1 and part 2. Next up, we have cookbook overrides. So what this does is it overrides the cooking skill books to look more aged. I also have this medieval baby override in my game. Now, I haven't really messed around with it too much. My Sims haven't had a baby yet, but I hope it works because this baby is so damn cute. Like, it's so funny to me. Like, they're wearing a little belt, but so cute, so silly. I love it. But you can also get this override of the babies. Next up, we have a homework default replacement, which is going to replace the in-game children's homework, and it's also going to replace the pen or pencil to be a quill. So definitely time appropriate. Next up, we have toilet bush recolors. So this is just going to recolor the toilet bushes in the game. And next we have a sheet music override. It's just going to change it to look like this. Next up, we have the trash override. It's going to change the trash to look like it's kind of like in a burlap bag instead of the more modern black looking trash bags. And then this is going to change the mop in game to look like an old broom because obviously they didn't have the modern looking mops back then. And then this is not really an override, but it is going to add functional brooms to replace the vacuums in game because obviously in the medieval times they might have wished they had a vacuum, but they didn't. They had brooms. So now your Sims can have them too. And next we have this default replacement sippy cup that I have. I have this in my game, and then there's also default replacement toys that are just going to make the toys look more old, like handmade kind of. So you can get those here. And lastly, on the overrides list, I have this phone to notebook replacement mod. So obviously what this does is it changes the modern looking phone the Sims love to use into a notebook. So that way your Sims aren't like all medievaled out and pull out a phone like they're from the future or something. Because who the hell are you? But yeah. Alright, you guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys got some use out of this video as well as it helped you out or anything like that. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to leave them down in the comments section down below. And if you would like me to scour the internet for more medieval content and make another video like this, let me know. I'd be happy to. Um, and yeah, other than that, I hope you go have an amazing day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, everybody.